Is World War III starting? Is America going to launch another endless, senseless, unnecessary war in the Middle East? Is America going to attack Iran? Is Donald Trump going to fall into the trap the neocons in the Washington D.C., John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, Patrick Shanahan, and other neocons in the United States want him to fall into? Is he going to resist the neocons? Is he going to resist the temptation of another war? Is he going to push back? Well, is Iran going to be destroyed? I believe no. I believe no. I believe that America and Iran are not going to fight each other for a number of reasons. Iran is not a small fry. It's a big country. It's a big country with over 80 million people who are largely homogeneous, and is very educated, a sophisticated country. It's not Afghanistan, it's not Iraq, which had sectarian problem during the time when Bush attacked Iraq for no reason. The neocons in the Washington D.C. 16, 17, 18 years ago told Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, but there was no weapons of mass destruction. They knew it. They knew it that Saddam was not a threat, but they wanted to start an unnecessary, endless war. In the Middle East. Afghanistan. The same thing happened with Afghanistan. And the Taliban, the government in Taliban, requested the Americans to give them the proof that that Laden and Al Qaeda were behind 9/11 attack. They didn't provide any proof. They said we will not give any proof. It's clear. It's clear to us. Why would you give any proof? That's what the Americans said. But the Taliban wanted. Okay, give us proof. We'll hand you Osama bin Laden if you want. If you can prove that Osama bin Laden was responsible for 9/11 attack, but they couldn't give anything. What ultimately happened is thousands of American soldiers were killed, millions of dollars, millions, not millions, trillions of dollars was wasted. The money could have saved thousands of Americans from untimely death due to diseases. America could become a better country with better infrastructure, a richer country with much richer population, but due to the neocons, their strategies, their lure for war ended all the hopes for thousands of Americans. American people saw their sons and daughters were dying in the battlefield. Same thing happened in Iraq. So is America going to start another war in the Middle East? Trump doesn't want war. Trump wants to rebuild America. Trump came into power because he promised American people that he would bring back the troops. He would stop America from starting to regime change in the Middle East. He said that. He promised the American people. He came into power, but somehow he surrounded himself with the neocons, with the warmongering hawks, neocons. And the neocons are on the Democrat side and are also on the Republican side. They desperately want him to start another war because war is profitable. War is profitable for them because the military-industrial complex pays them millions of dollars, provides them with campaign money so that they keep the war machine running. If, for example, tomorrow America is new war in the Middle East, the share price of Boeing, okay, Boeing would jump probably by 10% or more than 10%. The share prices of different weapon manufacturers in America will jump. So that's the reason they want Trump to start a war. But what will be the consequence of another endless, senseless war in the Middle East? It will do no good. It will do no good to the Middle East. It will do no good to the state of Israel. It will do no good to American interests. Rather, it will create chaos in the Middle East. It will create chaos for the global economy for, I believe, for a certain period of time. Iran is a very wise country, I would say, although they are ruled by some theocrats, some religious zealots. But I believe Iran, while making decisions on foreign policy, while making decisions on international diplomacy, it doesn't depend on religion. It depends on sense. it is a theocratic country, but the theology it uses to gain its influence in the Middle East around the world. So its theology is different from the theology found and practiced in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Okay, Iran is a different player. It's a big country. It's a huge country with sophisticated people, with a lot of young people who are very nationalist. So Trump doesn't want to go into war, engage in war, another senseless or unnecessary war. If Trump somehow falls into the trap that the neocons want him to, I believe China is going to be the winner, because China would get more time. China would buy more time to say goodbye to America from the hegemonic position, imperialistic position. America right now is in. So China will say them goodbye, and China will take their place. Trump probably knows that it will cost thousands of lives. It will definitely devastate the economy of America to an epic proportion that the American country never has experienced in the Second World War and First World War. America didn't suffer a lot because the war was already over in Europe by Russia, and in Asia and Asia Pacific, America didn't lose that much because Japanese were struggling hard. But if America starts a new war in the Middle East, it will become devastating for their economy, because it's not going to become a nuclear war. It's going to be a conventional war. Iran knows how to push back. Iran knows how to fight back. It dominates 4 capitals in the Middle East. It dominates Baghdad, Damascus, Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, and also Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. It has proxies around the Middle East. It can tell their proxies to attack American interests around the Middle East. So Trump first of all approved airstrikes, limited airstrikes on military sites controlled by Iran. Then 10 minutes before the attack, he backed off. Why? Because he knows that a new war in the Middle East would destroy his hopes to be re-elected. He can kiss his dreams to become president in 2020. He won't become president in 2020 if he launches another senseless, and if he starts another senseless war in the Middle East. He knows that. That's why Trump would not engage America in another senseless war in the Middle East. Well, what is going to happen? I believe right now America will increase the pressure on Iran by putting more sanctions, by threatening other countries to shut down their businesses with Iran. And I believe what America ultimately wants is to bring Iran into the table, into the discussion table, so that America gets a better deal or some kind of a deal. Because Donald Trump is a showman. He wants to show that he is a better president. He is a better president than Barack Obama had been. He wants to show that he undid everything. He undid almost everything done by Barack Obama. Barack Obama entered into the nuclear deal. Trump terminated it because Trump is jealous of Obama. He wants to satisfy his base. That's why he terminated the Iran deal. And Iranian politicians, I believe, value their ego a lot. They have definitely strong arguments for not renegotiating the JCPOA, which is now a dead thing, which is now dead. Okay, only Iran is abiding by the terms of the deal. No country is abiding by the terms of the deal. China isn't doing so because China feels that if America somehow is busy with Middle East, it can buy some time. That's why they are they are not fulfilling. They are not. I mean, the Chinese are not fulfilling their terms of the bargain. Europe is not, because Europe is afraid of Trump and the retaliation that can come from Trump. India isn't, because it is not a superpower, and for many reasons, India wants also to buy time to become economically strong, so that in future it can take some independent decision. But I believe India is largely controlled by America and Britain, mainly by Britain in past, and right now probably America is going to replace Britain. So America may be the most dominant, I believe, most dominant country to influence India and Indian politics. So what's going to happen then? More pressure is coming to hurt the Iranian economically. America is not going to launch a military strike, or start a protected war. It is going to add more pressure on Iran and trying to force Iran into the bargaining table, so that Trump can tell his base, "Hey, see, Obama couldn't do it. I I got a better deal. I got a better deal. Okay, I'm better than Obama. See, I'm better than Obama." So he's going to sell a deal to his base, so that he can get re-elected. That is his purpose. He's afraid of war. He doesn't want war, because he knows war destroys economy, war kills jobs, war kills people. He doesn't want that. He is a showman. He wants to show things. He wants to show, "I'm the best. I'm the alpha." Okay, he wants to show that. That's why the saber rattling we can see in the Middle East is nothing but some show from Trump. And I'm also afraid that Trump doesn't want to back down or back off. So if Iran somehow miscalculates, there can be some limited airstrikes on some Iranian targets, and deaths of some American servicemen or civilians working in Iraq, in Damascus, or in Beirut, or in Sana'a. So this can happen. But um, an all-out and drawn-out war is not what the Americans and the Iranians seek for. None of them want protected war. So I think that all the hype that a war is going to take place in the Middle East is exaggerated and overblown. So nothing serious is going to happen. Things are cool, and things I believe will remain stable, because Iranians are very strong and very expert. Not very strong, I should say, very expert and skilled in diplomacy and in playing their political cards. Thank you.